I think it's the first time in my life I bought a brand new grand piano. And so it's very difficult to select. So what you do is you negotiate with the factory in Hamburg, Germany, and they're very willing to let you choose out of 6. So they pre-select 6 grand pianos for you, and you have to find the most excellent one, or the one fits best with your orchestra. So we took a famous Dutch pianist, Rian de Waal, who was very experienced in playing on Steinway, and one of our great international soloists, Jean-Yves Thibaudet, was the guest of Steinway at the day we came to select, and he played on the piano. So we had 2 excellent pianists who gave us advice.
I think they did a good job, yeah. It's always very difficult. I often had to choose a piano for a hall or an orchestra, and I always find it difficult because you try them in the factory in Hamburg, and there's nothing to do with the hall where they're going to be played. So it's sometimes difficult to judge a piano, and especially among 10 or 12 beautiful pianos, which one is going to fit such acoustics, such hall. It's a little bit of a gamble, but I think they gamble all right.
And then there was a technical discussion which one was best for the orchestra, and both soloists actually agreed on the one we have now. And so it's a process, takes a couple of hours. You have to listen to all the pianos, and then it's going from 6 to 4, from 4 to 2, and then we took a lunch and we said, well, let's mix them around and let's do it again to be sure that we have the same one. So they played again on all 6, and then again there were 2, and there was 1 different. And then finally we agreed on the one which would suit the concert hall here in Arnhem, the Musisacrum best, and the orchestra.
For me, the piano is a piano. I mean, I don't want to be too picky about it because I don't want to be disappointed. So I always say, maybe it's a joke, but I say that there are no bad piano, only bad pianists. Okay, of course, you need a minimum of quality. But I believe that the pianist makes the sound, and that's his job to find what the piano can express. And of course, some instruments are, I don't say some are good and some are bad, they're just different. And you have to appreciate and to use all those differences to make them sound like your sound. So it's a kind of like taming a wild animal and say, well, oh, I can do this, maybe I cannot do this tonight, so you have to adapt yourself. The new one in Arnhem is particularly beautiful. It's a very, very good number. Those instruments are handmade, so they're really like artisanal, so you never know what's going to happen with a new piano. But when you find an instrument like this, it's very exciting for pianists because for me, I'm interested in colors, sounds. I always want to try to make the piano sound like a human instrument.
Het Gelders Orkest can't afford to buy a grand piano by Steinway, and it's because we have a very nice mecenas who just donated us 75,000 euros to buy a grand piano, and the grand piano is 125. And at that moment, the foundation of partners of the orchestra, which are the smaller sponsors, the small companies, so they donated another 50. Well, when we started to put the legs on, there were slight problems that it didn't fit all as we expected. We contacted the Steinway office and they give some advice that just with a little bit sandpaper it was solved, but it's not really what you expect with a grand piano for 125,000 euros, but it all works. It's a beautiful instrument and it's standing on stage now. It's being played at the moment. It does everything we expect of it. Actually, there's a limited choice of grand pianos for the use with the symphony orchestra. As we have a lot of different soloists from all over the world, we need an instrument which suits everybody and makes them all happy. And actually the Steinway is so well constructed and so well developed instrument that all pianists in the world can play excellent on the Steinway. At the moment, the grand piano is on stage and Pascal Roger is playing it, and we will have to wait until after the rehearsal if he likes it, because a new grand piano is not really ready. It depends of the instrument and it depends of the pianist if he likes it already, or it has to be played more before it's really up to the highest level of playing, because it needs some time to develop.
Of course, the piano is going to get better and better. I mean, those instruments need to be played, I mean, to reveal all the qualities. But already there, I mean, I was a little surprised, because usually brand new pianos are what we call green. You know, they don't have yet the full colors. But this one, I mean, is already. But you know, I think the more and more the technology and the way they make these pianos are, it's like the cars. I don't know if you remember, many years ago you had to run the car for 2,000 miles before you could run it fast. Now that doesn't exist anymore. So I think for the pianos also they found a way to make them sound almost perfect from the very beginning. So, but again, I said this piano in particular is exceptionally beautiful.